continuing this dominant momentum right now?
We just got to continue to stick to who we are. We got a great coaching staff who tells us everything we need to know ahead of the game, and when we listen to them and we really key in on what they're giving us, and then we go out and do our best to execute it, all be on the same page. Understand that it's a 48-minute game every single night. We can trust that leaves us in a good spot.
Chet, how'd you feel about the looks that you were able to generate off the catch and the ones that you were set up for tonight?
I feel like the ball had energy tonight, not only for myself but for everybody. The ball was moving around. Everybody was making the right reads, and that makes it really tough on a defense when you try to take something away by giving something else up, and then a team trusts each other enough to make that play and then execute it, and it worked out for us tonight.
Yeah, Chet, how much were you pleased with how you guys came in on defensive end, with considering how much time you guys had off before this game?
Yeah, we did a great job this week of really getting after it in practice. Obviously, you can't be getting too physical. You don't want anybody getting hurt in a week of practice right before the playoffs. All types of stuff happened this year, and we're fortunate enough to come into the playoffs with pretty much everybody being healthy. Knock on wood that we're able to keep that going. But we did what we could this week in practice. We went hard. We got up and down, kept the wind going, focused on where we could get better, and we just got to keep doing that.
Chet, you had 2 of the 8 blocks that you guys did tonight, and there were a couple that weren't cheap at all. They're right at the rim going at it. Was that just something in the game plan as far as playing these guys and being aggressive defensively at the rim?
That's just what I'm going to do every single night. As long as I can remember playing basketball, ever since I could play above the rim, that's been something that I've hung my hat on. At the end of the day, easy ones breathe confidence, and at the end of the day, as a defense, you just have to make everything tough. Teams are going to score. There's no such thing as a shutout in the NBA. But when you make everything tough and try to limit confidence as much as possible, that's what you have to lean to.
And just like with the Athletic, the lineups with you and iHeart are still a pretty small sample, but it seemed to work really well today, plus 16 with the starters. What were you seeing out there?
Again, just everybody being bought in, understanding that there's going to be mistakes no matter what you do and what lineup you throw out there. There's going to be mistakes, but just having the right mentality around it, understanding that all the mistakes, they happen with the right purpose, and everybody's trying to get things right. And over time, you just have to trust that that's going to continue to get you better and better. And that's what we've done all year. And, we're not going to stop that now.
You mentioned the energy in the ball. You talking about just guys, shots coming out. You had several occasions where you guys really had to find the open shooter. Sometimes it was Wiggs, sometimes it was you. It seemed like that was, in the second half in particular when the game was a blowout, it seemed like you did that really well as a team.
Yeah, 100%. And, at the end of the day, the credit has to start at the top with that one. Shea did a great job of trusting everybody, giving up the ball, when that's what the defense was giving him. And, not forcing the issue like he could, at the end of the day. I've said it before. There's no defense you throw at him that limits him from being able to get a shot off. So he could get a shot off anytime he wants, but he trusted us to make the right plays tonight. And then, even when he wasn't on the floor, those lineups that were out there, made big plays. So,
Chet, over here. This is obviously a very business-like win for you guys tonight, 51 points. You obviously had a lot of fun, but did you have a favorite moment or sequence from this one?
There were some good plays, and I'd say my favorite one was, Queso's dunk in transition. Yeah. He had, an extremely impactful night tonight. You might not see it looking in the scores column, but, he was extremely disruptive, made everything tough on Memphis, and, it didn't matter whether he was getting to shoot the ball every time down or not. He was locked in and making plays, and those are the type of dudes that you want to play with. You want out there, you know, they got your back, so you got to have their back. And he had a big time game tonight.
Chet, you had a big play in the first half. Can you sort of take us through it where Ja gets the offensive rebound, it's instant behind the back pass, and you're right there at the rim on that block on Edey? Like, I think most guys couldn't react fast enough just watching it, but you're in the play and you're right there.
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is just not having any hesitation. You know, he was butt naked under the rim when he got the ball, and you know, if you hesitate for a second, like he's probably going to be able to dunk this, you know, that's when he's able to dunk this. So it's just not having any hesitation, whether he makes a good play or, you know, I do my job better on that play. You just got to trust that, you know, you got to do what you got to do. And on that play, I was able to make a play.
Speaking of that, Mark's praised you in the past for just being fearless underneath the rim. Has that always been a thing for you, or is that something you had to overcome at one point of just not being afraid of being dunked on or anything like that?
As I was growing up and everybody got more athletic, and I was playing up at times, you know, I've had my fair share, even in the NBA, I've had my fair share of times where the other player made a better play than I did at the rim. But on a single play, it's just whatever you can do to try and help us win. And you know, obviously that's one of the plays that I got hurt on, and actually both times. But you know, at the end of the day, if I'm out there hesitating for any reason, then I shouldn't be out there. So it's time. It's, you know, when there's time to make a play, you just got to no hesitation try to make a play.
Daniel Bell. Pass the mic back. Thank you.
Yeah, Chet, oftentimes we see when teams go up big in any game, we kind of let off a little bit, and team might come back and win, might come back and it'll be a closer game. But there was no point in this game where you guys let up and let them come back remotely close. What do you feel like went into not letting up and just increasing the lead throughout the game?
Just sticking to who we are. Again, you can't play the scoreboard. You know, especially in the playoffs. The playoffs are a time of huge ups and downs for both teams. And at the end of the day, if you get caught up playing the score, you know, things can work against your favor. And, you know, we have to do a really good job of whether we're up or down, you know, playing within the moment and doing what we need to execute in the moment. Because, you know, that moment is going to help us get better for the next one. And if we're playing circumstances that, you know, we shouldn't be, that's only going to hurt us.
Anybody else? Jeff.
Appreciate y'all.